Hi everyone, my name is Melody. Welcome to my channel where we talk about responsible consumerism by the way of project pans, no-buys, and tips on how to be the most ethical consumer you can be. And today I'm doing my very first tag video. When I decided to relaunch my YouTube channel, one of the big motivators was to participate in tags, because so many times I watch the tags and I'm like, well, this is my answer and this is my answer. And I want to tell somebody about it, so I'm going to tell you guys about it. So this time, I am going to do one that's really relevant. It just was created by Jena and Kelly Gooch, two YouTubers that I adore, and I watch pretty much every upload they put out there, and it is the high-end makeup tag. So there are 12 questions. I'm going to give you my answers to the best of my ability, and I hope you enjoy it. I have so many other tag videos I want to do, but I decided to skip right to this one just because it was just created and it just makes sense to hop on board with it while it's still fresh. So the first question is, if you could only use one high-end brand of makeup, what would it be? I have two partial answers and no full answer for this one. So it would either be Tarte. Let me build my case here. Tarte makes my favorite foundations, my favorite mascaras, and some of my favorite blushes. I also really like their eyeliner. There's good lip products that I like, but what I don't like is their eyeshadow formula. All except for one Tarte palette I've decluttered. So, and it's not that it's not necessarily bad, it's just not my preferred type of formula. So that's one partial answer. The other partial answer is Charlotte Tilbury. I love Charlotte Tilbury. I wouldn't say I've loved every single thing I've tried, but the vast majority of what I've tried from her, I absolutely love. I love her eyeshadows, I love her blushes, her Beauty Light Wand, gorgeous. Her lipsticks, I especially like Matte Revolution. I love them all, but I've never tried a foundation or a mascara, so that's why I can't commit to Charlotte Tilbury. Assuming I'd like her mascara, which I'm dying to try, that Pillow Talk Push-Up Lash, that one. I would love to try that, and people rave about it, so I expect I would love it. And assuming I could find at least one of her foundations that I would like, I'm confident that would be my answer, but I just can't go there yet until I try those things. Question number 2 is, what is the most underrated high-end beauty brand? And this one was a little bit of a hard answer to come up with, but in the end, I think I picked a good one. And it is Ciate London. I don't have a ton of their products to show you, but what I've used from them, I really like. This is their, and you have to excuse my hands, I got this Tarte eyeliner all over my hands, and I had nail polish remover trying to get it off, and it just won't come off. Anyway, my hands are not dirty, I promise. So this is their blush. It's a blush, and it's a beautiful blush. It has like swirls of highlight in there, and it just gives cheeks such a nice subtle glow. It's a subtle blush, but I really like it. This is a powder eyeshadow, and it has a cream portion at the top for primer, and then a really beautiful powder glistening eyeshadow, statement eyeshadow in the base of it, and this is in the shade Ocean Drive, and this is in the shade Date Night. I don't hear people talking about Ciate London hardly at all, and especially in the cruelty-free space, I think it's very underrated. Question number 3 is, which high-end makeup brand is the most overrated? So I think a lot of people feel like they're going to get themselves in trouble by how they answer this question, but I'm confident, pretty confident, that I can answer this without making any waves, at least not huge waves. The brand I'm picking is Beauty Blender. Why? Because you can get such cheap ones that work so well. And I understand when it came out, it was revolutionary, it's patented material, and that makes a lot of sense. But $20 is just way too much for something that only lasts a month or two. I just can't do it. So this is an e.l.f. makeup blending sponge, and it's great. It's probably my favorite one that I've tried. And then this is a $3 one from TJ Maxx. So it's so soft. Like if you put it next to a beauty blender, I don't know if I'd be able to tell the difference. So I just don't see the need to spend $20 on a makeup sponge. Question number 4 is if I could recommend one high-end product under $50, what would it be? This is such a hard question. I don't know. Give me a minute, okay? After much deliberation, I've landed on this Charlotte Tilbury Hot Lips 2 Refillable Lipstick. The reason I chose this one, and this retails for $38, I think. The reason I chose this one is because if you're going to go high-end, you need to experience luxury packaging. If this is going to be your only experience that I have to sell you on high-end makeup, look at this. It's gorgeous. I absolutely adore this packaging. This is in the shade In Love with Olivia. It's a beautiful shade, and when I'm done with it, I get to refill the packaging. So, and the refill is $25. So I can keep this tube for as long as they keep making those refills. I just love it. And it's just, I feel like a queen when I'm using it. Question number 5 is, what is a hidden gem high-end makeup product that nobody really talks about? I'm going to go with this Marc Jacobs Omega Shadow in the shade Memento. And this is the only shade I've tried. First of all, it's the size of a blush. When I received it, I just couldn't get over how big it is. Second of all, this particular color I love. I'm sure the other colors are great too, but this just gives that smoky lavender look that it is a great one and done shadow. I just love it. Like, I can't say enough good things about it, and it retails for $29. Right now it's on sale at Sephora for half that approximately, and I am so glad I finally got this. I wanted it for so long, and then it went on sale and I got it, and I'm glad I had the patience to wait it out until it went on sale, because Marc Jacobs tends to do that at Sephora. But yeah, I mean, if I travel, I could see this being the only shadow I bring. Maybe. Number 6 is my favorite high-end foundation. So I have 2. And the tiebreaker is going to be because of packaging. So formula itself, I love this Rainforest of the Sea Tarte foundation and this Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous foundation. I love them both. This is slightly more luminous than this one, but they both give such a nice natural finish. I just adore them. And every time I use this one, I think it's my favorite. Every time I use this one, I think it's my favorite. So I can't decide between the two formulas. However, I give it to Tarte because this packaging sucks. And maybe it's just this bottle. I have a backup bottle, so I hope it doesn't happen with that one too. But I only can get one pump, and then it never comes up all the way, so I have to stop, pull it up, twist it, and pump again to get more out. It's so frustrating. I hate that. Versus Tarte, which is a dropper, which I didn't think I would like, and it does get kind of messy at the top, but it doesn't prevent me from using it, you know? So I'm going to go with Tarte on this one. Great foundation. Question number 7 is, what product do you buy most at a high-end price tag? For me, that's not a good question because I buy it all at a high-end price tag with few exceptions. So instead, I'm going to talk about what products I don't buy at a high-end price tag. So the 2 areas I'm willing to compromise and go to drugstore are brows and mascara. I don't currently have a drugstore mascara, but I really love Essence mascaras, especially the Lash Princess, the black one with the green writing on it. And then this is the Essence Make Me Brow Gel. They're both great products. This is $3 and the mascara is $5 about. And I have no complaints about either of them, and they do what I want them to do, so I really have no complaints. And for me, on top of the product performance, the experience of using a luxury or high-end beauty product is what it's about. So I love the whole process, the packaging, opening the packaging, putting on the makeup. It just makes me feel nice, and so that's why I tend to go for high-end and luxury makeup. Question number 8 is the high-end brand that I feel is overpriced. That's a hard question, but I'm going to go with one that I no longer buy because it's no longer cruelty-free. But before it started testing on animals, I was so tempted by Nars products all the time. So the only thing I have is this Nars Lip Pencil. And this was a birthday gift from Sephora several years ago now, but I had this one stashed away. My friend gave me hers. So it's stashed away, recently took it out, and it's really nice. It's a nice product. I'm just not going to buy it. And when you're, well, I'm about to make a hypocrite of myself, okay? Remember a couple minutes ago when I was like this and it retails for $29? Well, now I'm about to say that Nars's $27 single eyeshadow was way too expensive for what it was. Okay, you got me. And I agree, and this is fantastic, and probably the Nars one was too. But Nars is one of those brands that I feel like I can't decide if it's high-end or luxury. There just isn't enough for me to say it's a luxury beauty brand. It feels more high-end, but it's at that high of the high ends in the price range, into the luxury price range. So yeah, I just have a little beef with Nars right now, and I'm going to take it out on them by giving them as the answer to number 8. My favorite, this is number 9, my favorite high-end limited edition beauty product. Hands down, this was the easiest question in this entire tag. Say it with me. Anastasia Beverly Hills Master Palette by Mario. Done. That's it. There's absolutely no arguing with that. That's the best answer that anybody's ever going to give on this tag. Okay, I'll relax a little bit. Best eyeshadow palette ever made. That's it. That's the end of the story. It's in retirement. I used it to death, and it's almost gone. Most of the shades that I would use on a regular basis are almost gone, and it's really old. So it's in retirement. Lives on a nice summer camp a couple miles from here, and yeah, he's just sitting there enjoying life in an old FabFitFun box with my other retired beauty products. Question number 10. What is the best high-end eyeshadow formula? It's so hard. It's so hard. I don't know. I can't answer. ABH? Charlotte Tilbury? I don't know. Give me a minute, okay? Alright, I'm gonna go with ABH. Their shadows are just so luxurious, but I want to say, I acknowledge that people have different opinions on shadows. So I like pigmented, creamy, delicious shadows. Not everybody does. Some people like buildable, quiet, soft shadows. So these are just the qualities I prefer in my shadows. So I'm going to go with them, but you'll get more insight into how I feel about them in a coming up question. Love it. The worst high-end eyeshadow formula. Tarte. It's just not for me. I acknowledge some people might really, really, really like that formula. It's just not for me. The only palette I have left of theirs is Tartelette Toasted. This is the only one I like. I had Tartelette in Bloom, and expected to love it because it's so many people's holy grail eyeshadow palette. Decluttered it. I had Rainforest of the Sea, number 2, decluttered it. I had a little travel palette, decluttered it. Yeah, I just can't get on board with it, but this palette I really do enjoy. I'm really glad I have it in my collection. Question number 12 is, what high-end brand did you used to love that now you're just not crazy about? I feel guilty. ABH. And I used to love like almost every release they put out. I was so excited for it. And unless it was really colorful, I knew I was going to get it. But it's just not the same. As soon as they sold the majority share and or Norvina started pumping out the palettes, I just haven't gone back. I haven't purchased anything since then because nothing's excited me. The last thing I got was the Carly Bible palette, which I think is highly overrated, but that's not the topic here. And yeah, I'm just so sad. I'm like seriously sad about it. I shouldn't be sad, it's just makeup, but I'm sad. Question number 13 is, what high-end product did you not expect to love but ended up loving it? I didn't think I was going to have an answer for this because I don't buy things unless I expect to love it, right? And I don't get PR or anything like that. But what I do get is Charlotte Tilbury mystery boxes. Well, I got the one. But anyway, the classic eye powder pencil crayon, classic black. It's amazing. I cannot get any eyeliner to show up in my waterline. And I thought, oh, I'll just try it, whatever. It's probably gonna be the same story. No. This shows up. This is fantastic. It's so easy to use. And I never, ever would have purchased this for myself. So I'm so glad it came in that mystery box. It's just the best. I love it. The final question, number 14, is a heart-wrenching question. It's a really hard one to answer. What is my current favorite high-end eyeshadow palette? That's just not even a fair question to ask. It's just not. Okay. So here's the deal. If my Master Palette by Mario were still an active member of my collection, obviously that would win, right? But it's not. So I had to move on. And even right now, I'm just not confident in my answer because there's so many I love. I'm going to go with Sultry. It is, I mean, look at that. It's just gorgeous. I just love the colors in here. And it never fails. Never fails. Unless I fail. You know, if I try to do something ridiculous like with Bloom or Birch, I'm not very skilled at makeup, so sometimes it fails me, but I think it's more that I fail it, to be honest. And this formula is just ever so slightly drier than Soft Glam, and Soft Glam, that formula is perfect in my opinion, but it just doesn't have quite the tones that I like compared to Sultry. With that said, I anticipate changing my opinion very soon. I just got the Persona Cosmetic Identity Palette in the mail. I got it with Ulta points December 30th on the dawn of the eve of my no-buy. I got it not completely with Ulta points, but about half with Ulta points. I just got it and I'm absolutely in love with it. I mean, it has been so long. It has been so long since I've had such a deep, immediate reaction to a palette that I just expect to love it. But I'm just not there yet because I've only used it once because of another project I'm working on. It's gorgeous. All right, that wraps it up. I thank you so much for watching, and if you made this video, please let me know. I want to see your answers, or leave your comments down below. I just want to know what you think. Okay? Thank you.